with Summer Diddy? Why y'all not together no more? Because like he was, he was f***ing up. He wasn't ready, and I was trying to be a woman.
And I can't say no names, and that's not like me because I love saying names. But this is kind of a touchy subject, so I won't say the name. They were doing some pretty wild things.
Are you a cheater?
No, I used to be a cheater. I'm not a cheater no more.
Used to be.
I'm a truth teller now.
You are honest.
Diddy has recently found himself in the center of attention, with reports indicating that his residence is under investigation for potential evidence collection. Various artists are apparently stepping forward to recount their experiences with Diddy. Young Miami is one of those voices, supposedly revealing how Diddy allegedly coerced her into covering up his purported criminal activities and complying with his demands. Following the developments in the extensive lawsuit against Diddy, reports indicate that Young Miami, Diddy's girlfriend, has begun sharing some exclusive information. Sources close to Young Miami suggest that the city girl is currently taking a break from her relationship with the individual facing allegations of criminal activities. According to a confidant of Young Miami who spoke to Media Takeout, she recently had a conversation with Diddy, and they both agreed to temporarily pause their relationship.
And this is what she wrote to her: if I wanted you to blank, Diddy would have had you on your knees.
Diddy and rapper Young Miami were rumored to be dating in 2021, but they officially confirmed their relationship in June 2022. Diddy openly acknowledged their romance during an episode of Young Miami's podcast, Carisha Please. Despite being together throughout 2022, Young Miami announced herself as single in April 2023. It's worth noting that since then, the pair has been navigating an open relationship. In the extensive 70-page lawsuit from Jones, it is asserted that Combs aimed to G him into accepting a S relationship, which is purportedly considered a normal practice in the music industry. Represented by attorney Tyrone Blackburn, Jones also alleges the existence of a RICO enterprise that repeatedly failed to adequately monitor, warn, or supervise Combs. This conspiracy is claimed to be orchestrated by some of the most influential figures in the music business. As a result, Universal Music Group CEO Sir Lucian Grange, former Motown CEO Ethiopia Habtemariam, Diddy, his top aide Christina Korum, and the star's 30-year-old son Justin are all named as defendants in the lawsuit.
But a lawyer for Combs called the events described in the lawsuit pure fiction. This is now one of several assault lawsuits filed against Combs in recent months.
Furthermore, Young Miami has also been implicated multiple times in Lil Rod's lawsuit. In one instance, he claims to have witnessed Diddy and Young Miami using together. Additionally, Lil Rod alleges that on Thanksgiving 2022, Young Miami's cousin sayed him at Diddy's Miami home. It appears that in an attempt to distance herself from the situation and shift responsibility onto Diddy, Young Miami mistakenly implicated Cuba Gooding Jr. in the lawsuit as well. Cuba Gooding Jr.'s story diverges from the typical narrative surrounding famous personalities. The Hollywood actor's reputation was not only tarnished, but his life outside the glamorous world of entertainment was also disrupted by the accusations and legal proceedings.
And then, it's one of those moments in my life where I was trying to numb the pain. So I would, just kind of...
During the late 1990s and early 2000s, Cuba Gooding Jr. enjoyed significant success in Hollywood, earning acclaim for his roles in television series like Hill Street Blues and MacGyver. However, he reached new heights of recognition with his performance in John Singleton's acclaimed film, Boys and the Hood. Subsequently, his career continued to flourish, with notable roles in movies such as Rob Reiner's adaptation of Aaron Sorkin's A Few Good Men and the thriller Outbreak. However, the primary reason for Cuba Gooding Jr.'s career decline has been the allegations made by multiple women against him. It's worth noting that Gooding himself has also been involved in some questionable actions. Some suggest that part of his current situation stems from his intention to expose certain secrets about individuals in Hollywood, which ultimately led to significant trouble for him. "No one prepares you for success," he said. "That's why you see a lot of actors who star in movies, then disappear. Or you see athletes who make $100 million, and then they disappear too. They weren't ready for it. People asked me after I won that Academy Award, award if I ever thought I would be on that stage. I always said, not in a million years. But that's a lie. You have to envision yourself on that stage, winning that award, so that when you succeed, it will feel normal, not like it's something special, so that you can do it again. Cuba Gooding Jr. won an Oscar in 1997 for his work in Jerry Maguire, but almost 2 decades later, the Academy Awards have failed to make much progress. Following the widespread disappointment of this year's Oscar nominees, which did not recognize a single actor of color, Variety asked Gooding Jr. his opinion on the #Oscars So White backlash. You want it to be diverse. You want the work to show. Gooding Jr. told Variety and other reporters at the Television Critics Association press tour in Pasadena, Khalif. I wanted Straight Outta Compton to get something, but it's this conversation that makes people think harder when the nominations come around for next year. The issues for Cuba Gooding Jr. arose in June 2019, following a USA Today report detailing an investigation into allegations of him inappropriately touching a woman at a New York City bar while intoxicated. Gooding subsequently turned himself in to the authorities and was arrested.
When a woman alleges Gooding touched her inappropriately at a different nightclub, and another incident where he allegedly grabbed a woman's at this bar in June.
As of October 15, 2019, prosecutors disclosed that a total of 14 women from various venues, including parties and nightclubs in Dallas, Los Angeles, and New York, since 2001, have accused Oscar-winning actor Cuba Gooding Jr. of unwanted advances. Gooding Jr. faces 4 misdemeanor charges related to 2 incidents of groping in Manhattan. One incident allegedly occurred on October 24, 2018, at Teo Downtown Nightclub, and the other on June 9, 2019, at Magic Hour Rooftop Bar. Manhattan prosecutor Jenna Long expressed her intention to utilize the testimony of the 12 additional complainants to establish a behavioral pattern during Gooding's trial in Manhattan Supreme Court. As of October 22, 2019, new misdemeanor SA charges have been brought against him, as per court records, although it remains unclear if these charges pertain to the same 2 women. 2 women have filed lawsuits accusing the actor of groping them in separate incidents in New York City in 2018 and 2019. These lawsuits were lodged in New York Supreme Court under the state's Adult Survivors Act, which provides plaintiffs with a limited time frame to bring forth civil claims of offenses that would otherwise be time-barred by the statute of limitations. In the 2019 filing, Kelsey Harbert claimed that she approached Cuba Gooding Jr. at Magic Hour Rooftop Bar and Lounge with the intention of meeting him. She alleged that after sitting next to Gooding's girlfriend, the actor reached over and touched her thigh and Harbert stated in the lawsuit, "So you can imagine my surprise when I saw a flash of movement and felt his hand on my B, groping it, feeling around on it, as if I was a piece of meat." Harbert promptly filed a police report within a week of the incident. Gooding later pleaded guilty, and the civil lawsuit includes Gooding confirming that it was non-consensual physical contact during his hearing. Both women are seeking unspecified damages for A and battery, lost wages, emotional, mental, and physical injury, and attorney's fees. A representative for Gooding did not immediately respond to the Times' request for comment. In the plea deal reached during the criminal trial for both incidents, Gooding avoided jail time and was instead required to undergo 6 months of counseling. Gloria Allred, the plaintiff's attorney in the new lawsuits, provided a statement to Deadline in response. "Our clients were deprived of the justice they sought in the criminal case. They are now seeking justice and accountability in their civil cases. We are proud of their courage and intend to vigorously fight for them until they win the justice that they deserve." However, this is just one revelation Young has dropped. According to her, Diddy has apparently made his own empire where he allegedly G people, not only men, women also. Adding to his seemingly long lawsuit, Sean Diddy Combs is again facing his 4th misconduct lawsuit in less than a month. The CEO of Bad Boy Entertainment was recently accused by a woman, referred to as Jane Doe in the civil case, who alleges that she was R by him and others as a teenager. According to the plaintiff, the incident occurred in 2003 when she was a 17-year-old high school junior. She claims that Combs, along with his longtime producing partner Harv Pierre and another individual, engaged in ST and Gang R.
Well, another lawsuit filed against music mogul Sean Diddy Combs.
In this case, a model is accusing him of and assaulting her at his New York City studio back in 2003.
In response to the allegations, the I'll Be Missing You rapper vehemently denied the accusations, stating, "I did not do any of the awful things being alleged. I will fight for my name, my family, and for the truth." The latest allegation adds to the already significant legal turmoil surrounding Sean Diddy Combs. Prior to this, his ex-partner, singer Cassie, filed a bombshell lawsuit accusing him of subjecting her to a cycle of A, violence, and ST, which allegedly included R in 2018. Although Diddy settled that lawsuit, there are still 2 other pending cases in addition to the new one.
And Cassie, whose real name is Cassandra Ventura, they're saying tonight that the two have settled the lawsuit she filed against the mogul yesterday in Manhattan federal court.
And now her friend also seems to be sending Diddy a warning. Grammy-winning songwriter Tiffany Red has stepped forward to publicly support her longtime friend Cassie's claims of A against Diddy. In a letter published in Rolling Stone, Red stated, "I'm breaking my silence, freeing myself from haunting recollections, standing in solidarity with Cassie, and standing up for myself." She expressed concern for her safety, noting that Cassie's lawsuit alludes to her without explicitly naming her. Red hoped that revealing her identity to the public would provide her with some protection. Red recounted witnessing a heated confrontation between Cassie and Diddy at a karaoke spot where they gathered for Cassie's 29th birthday in 2015. Tiffany Red detailed the distressing encounter she witnessed between Cassie and Diddy, alleging, "When I walked out of the room, you had her backed into a corner in the hallway outside of the door, and your security surrounded you too as you cursed her out with your hands in her face." She described feeling helpless as she saw Cassie looking afraid and avoiding eye contact. Red claimed Cassie asked her to accompany them back to her place out of concern for her safety, fearing that Diddy might harm her. Red also mentioned that prior to this incident, Cassie had confided in her about Diddy's physical A, which made the situation all the more alarming. Red felt compelled to stay with Cassie, not wanting to leave her alone in such a vulnerable situation. Later that night, Red alleged that she was awakened by Diddy's screams at Cassie's house. According to Red, Diddy yelled, "Emotional singing B, where are you?" In her letter, Tiffany Red alleged that both Diddy and Cassie were visibly intoxicated during the disturbing incident. She described Cassie as appearing sedated and withdrawn, which was a stark departure from her usual demeanor. According to Red, Diddy became enraged when Cassie refused to engage in S activity with him. Red recounted her response to Diddy, asserting she doesn't have to have S with you if she doesn't want to. However, Diddy allegedly retorted with, "She gon' get this D," before the couple drove off. Red expressed her terror for Cassie's safety and her own traumatization from witnessing the event. She claimed that Cassie later confided in her about being coerced into participating in what Cassie described as a freak-off, an arrangement where Diddy allegedly compelled her to engage in S acts with male S workers that same night.
So you feel like Diddy was having sex with the male? They had to be for both of them. They was in the room, right? You're right. It's a freak-off section.
Red, who collaborated with Cassie on songs like Don't Let Go and Simple Things, admitted feeling deeply disturbed by the incident she witnessed. She further asserted that the birthday party was not the sole instance of alleged A she observed. In her letter, Tiffany Red disclosed further instances of alleged A she witnessed between Diddy and Cassie. She recounted hearing Diddy yell at Cassie and make threats towards her, as well as observing Cassie in a highly intoxicated state at a party in Malibu, where Red feared she might overdose. Red also claimed to have seen both Diddy and Cassie receiving IV treatments after another night of partying. Red expressed gratitude for Cassie's courage in sharing her story, which has empowered her to speak out about her own experiences. She revealed that the events of Cassie's birthday and many others have haunted her, causing significant distress. In an Instagram post, Red expressed pride in herself for breaking her silence. However, in her letter, she acknowledged that she continues to suffer from physical reactions, such as sweaty palms, a racing heart, and the onset of panic attacks due to the trauma of witnessing the alleged A. "I am traumatized by you," Red expressed directly to Diddy in her letter. She emphasized that the burden of sharing these experiences should never have fallen on her or anyone else. Red revealed that she continues to grapple with PTSD, paranoia, and anxiety stemming from these events, highlighting the ongoing harm caused by Diddy's A of power to herself, her friends, and her peers. Cassie's attorneys were also unavailable for comment. Diddy has previously denied any wrongdoing and settled his lawsuit with Cassie shortly after she filed it, with his attorney Ben Braffman stating that the settlement did not imply guilt. However, since then, more women have come forward with accusations against the "It's All About the Benjamins" rapper, including allegations of D and R, resulting in a total of 4 lawsuits. Diddy took to Instagram Wednesday to directly address the allegations, writing, "Enough is enough. For the last couple of weeks, I have sat silently and watched people try to assassinate my character, destroy my reputation and my legacy. He continued, sickening allegations have been made against me by individuals looking for a quick payday. Let me be absolutely clear. I did not do any of the awful things being alleged. I will fight for my name, my family, and for the truth. But recently a video went viral where Diddy is alleged, I beating Cassie. It was from 2016, with the release of a violent surveillance video from 2016 showing rapper mogul Sean Diddy Combs physically his then-girlfriend Cassie Ventura in a luxury hotel. The public scrutiny surrounding Diddy has intensified significantly. The graphic footage, obtained and published by CNN, appears to corroborate some of the details outlined in Ventura's lawsuit against Combs filed in November. The video, filmed on March 5, 2016, at a now-closed Intercontinental Hotel in Los Angeles, depicts Ventura walking down a hallway towards elevators, while Combs, clad only in a towel, pursues her. Combs is seen throwing Ventura to the ground, kicking her repeatedly, and attempting to drag her down the hallway, presumably towards their room, before she manages to free herself. Later in the video, he throws a vase at Ventura. Following the public release of the video, Combs took to Instagram to issue a one-minute apology, admitting to his actions depicted in the footage. He expressed remorse, stating, "My behavior on that video is inexcusable. I take full responsibility for my actions in that video. I was disgusted then when I did it, and I'm disgusted now." Combs mentioned seeking therapy and rehabilitation, but did not specifically address Ventura in his apology. In response to Ventura's lawsuit, Sean Combs' attorney initially dismissed the allegations, labeling them as baseless and outrageous lies aimed at tarnishing Combs' reputation for financial gain. However, the publication of the surveillance video this week, coupled with Combs' subsequent apology, appears to lend credibility to at least some of the accusations made against the rapper. Meredith Feiertag, a partner at Wigdor LLP, the firm representing Ventura, issued a statement in response to Combs' apology, criticizing it as self-serving. Feiertag asserted that Combs' apology focused more on himself than on the harm he caused to others. She highlighted the fact that Combs only issued the apology after his repeated denials were proven false, suggesting his actions were driven by desperation rather than genuine remorse. Ventura's lawsuit, which was settled just one day after it was filed, sparked a wave of similar lawsuits, many of which contain disturbing and brutal details. Plaintiffs allege that Combs are them and, in some instances, coerce them into engaging in activities with other men, effectively T them. These cases have reignited public attention on long-standing allegations of violence against Combs, prompting some brands to sever ties with him and Hulu to cancel his upcoming reality show.
Because I think it will be fodder for future examinations and deposition testimony, none of which is going to be good for Mr. Combs.
The speculation surrounding the accusations intensified further when federal authorities raided homes in Los Angeles and Miami Beach linked to Combs. These raids were revealed to be part of an ongoing investigation into allegations of St. Combs has denied the allegations, saying in a December statement, "I did not do any of the awful things being alleged. I will fight for my name, my family, and for the truth." Especially in the 1990s and 2000s, Diddy was a figure of enormous power, not just in hip-hop, but in the business and entertainment worlds writ large. In recent months, however, multiple people have sued him, saying he used that influence and wealth to victimize and, in some cases, T them, while avoiding consequences for decades. The cases have captured the public's attention in part because Combs was such an influential executive and gatekeeper in music and fashion, yet one who had long been the subject of allegations of violence, including arrests. They are among the first major allegations in years against a major figure in the music industry, which many feel has failed to reckon with of power, even at the height of the Me Too movement. Combs is just one of many powerful men who have evaded scrutiny, but whose alleged past conduct is being revisited with fresh and more critical eyes. In some cases, thanks to the landmark New York laws that have allowed people alleging SA to file civil lawsuits past the time period specified by the statute of limitations. And Combs is now drawing comparisons to R. Kelly, with frequent critic 50 Cent announcing that he will produce a series about Combs in the style of the bombshell docuseries Surviving R. Kelly, with the proceeds going to survivors. Dream Hampton, producer of Surviving R. Kelly, told The Times late last year that an accounting was arriving for the Bad Boy founder. "Puff is done," she said. The suits against Combs also show that despite recent backlash, the Me Too movement and the legal and cultural changes that came with it have had an enduring impact. Even if allegations of SA and H do not make daily headlines the way they did in 2017, The reckoning is ongoing, and no industry is likely to remain immune forever. In late May, Cassie released a statement on domestic violence, saying she was grateful for all the support she's received in the wake of the footage becoming public. The outpouring of love has created a place for my younger self to settle and feel safe now, but this is only the beginning. Domestic violence is the issue. It broke me down to someone I never thought I would become. With a lot of hard work, I am better today, but I will always be recovering from my past, she wrote on Instagram. Thank you to everyone that has taken the time to take this matter seriously. My only ask is that everyone open your heart to believing victims the first time. It takes a lot of heart to tell the truth out of a situation that you were powerless in. I offer my hand to those that are still living in fear. Reach out to your people. Don't cut them off. No one should carry this weight alone. This healing journey is never ending, but this support means everything to me. Rodney Lil Rod Jones Jr., a record producer from Chicago, has filed a 105-page federal complaint against Combs, alleging that Combs and his associates are part of an illegal racketeering enterprise. Jones claims to possess irrefutable evidence of various illegal activities, including the acquisition, distribution, and use of D such as ecstasy, cocaine, GHB, ketamine, and mushrooms, as well as the display and distribution of unregistered firearms and the solicitation of minors and workers. According to Jones's complaint, Combs approached him in 2022 to assist in producing songs, but Jones alleges that Combs's demands extended beyond music production. Jones asserts in the lawsuit that he was required to procure D and solicit workers to engage in acts for Combs's pleasure. Jones claims that Combs also mandated him to record these acts and that Combs would threaten him with bodily harm if he refused to comply.
It was filed by music producer Rodney Jones Jr. He accuses Combs of making unwanted contact while they worked on an album.
Additionally, Jones alleges that Combs kept bottles of alcohol specifically for females, which Jones believes were laced with ecstasy. Jones further accuses Combs of SH&A, claiming that Combs grabbed him without consent and forced him to work while Combs was N. Jones also alleges an incident on a yacht where he was left alone with Cuba Gooding Jr., who allegedly engaged in unwanted touching and until Jones pushed him away forcibly. Doe alleges that she was Gang R and ST by Combs and former president of Bad Boys Records Harve Pierre when she was only 17 and in the 11th grade. She alleges she met Pierre in a lounge in Detroit, and he told her he was best friends with Combs. Doe claims Combs convinced her to accompany Pierre and a third assailant on a private jet to come to his studio in New York City. She claims she agreed and boarded a jet that flew to Teterboro, New Jersey, and was taken to Combs's studio. She alleges that once there, Combs and his associates, including Pierre, plied her with DNA and alleges she was subsequently Gang R at the studio by Combs, Pierre, and a third assailant. Her complaint states that while Mr. Combs was Miss Doe, he complained that he could not get off unless she pinched his nipples as hard as she could, and that Combs then allegedly watched as the third assailant R her while she told him to stop. After third assailant was finished, Mr. Pierre took his turn at Miss Doe and then violently forced her to give him oral S, during which Miss Doe was choking and struggling to breathe, according to the complaint. After this, Liza Gardner filed a 22-page lawsuit accusing Combs and Aaron Hall of forcing her to have S with them against her will when she was only 16. Garner claims she met Combs and Hall in New York at an event for the album release for Joe DC. After a dinner for the event, Combs allegedly invited Gardner and her friend to Hall's apartment for an after-party. She alleged it was there that Combs coerced her into having S with him, and while she was getting dressed after that, Hall barged into the room, pinned her down, and allegedly forced her to have S with him. Gardner claims that she had immense pain vaginally afterward. She said she fled the apartment and later learned that her friend also allegedly had S with both Combs and Hall. The day after the AT, Gardner alleged that Combs came to her home and began and choking her to the point that she passed out. Gardner's complaint states that since being violently and statutorily R by Combs and Aaron Hall, Miss Gardner's life has been overwhelmed by depression, post-traumatic stress disorder, and strained relationship with men, and has asked the court for a jury trial. And the people keep emerging one after another, and the persona which Diddy had in his starting days seems to have completely faded away. One person wrote, "That's a lot of lawsuits, and this most recent one seems to line up with what others have claimed. If these are true, I hope he is finally arrested and held accountable." One more person added, "He's been doing this for years, but he's not the only one from rappers to movie actors I heard a lot of stories about these parties, and only people get invited to. It's crazy what goes on." That's all for today. See you in the next video. Until then, goodbye.